we'll see who cancels who.
Good afternoon, boys, girls, and enemies of all shapes, all sizes, all colors, all orientations. You all know what it is. It's the one, the only Alec Gunther stream. It is so good to have you all here. So good to be back as usual, and I forgot my camera yet again. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Whenever I'm in a hurry, I forget to turn on my camera software. Hello, RazD Champ. I've been seeing a lot of your comments and replies. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to be back. As I said, oh my goodness, that's very bright. I'm gonna have to close that. Yeah, hold on. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Man, it is so bright. There we go. That's well. When I get close to the camera, it helps. Maybe if I turn up the lights a little bit more. I don't think it's that bad, but I'd rather not have it be that bright. Okay, there we go. There we go. A little bit harder on my eyes, but it'll be easier for you. What's up, guys? God, my hair is getting really long, and by that I mean I'm supposed to be bald. My hairline is starting to reveal itself. Getting bald in the back, too. It's not great. I had my twink death some time ago. You have a PO box people can ship things to? I haven't needed one. There's one person that I trust that I've given my address to, but I haven't needed a PO box. The thing is, PO boxes cost money to keep open every month. So, you know, for right now, like, if I trust you, I'll just send you my home address. But don't get any ideas. I trust very difficultly. Yeah. Yeah, Winry's there in the background. You can see her. What are you doing, baby girl? Hi. You're gonna think I'm about to play with her now. Oh man. Okay, so the house I work at.
Tag Alex Gunther. Why, dude?
For those who don't,
baiting.
thank you for
I
the
know
subscription,
who this is.
Hot Nut Pancho. Thank you for subscribing. For those who don't know, I work home care, and the family that I work for picked something up over the weekend. Would you like to see it? They picked up a gremlin off the road. Poor guy was, he was the runt of the litter. So he was struggling to get food from his mom, who was already very small. He's so lovable, though. He is a little creature. He's not named yet. But I got to play with him yesterday. That was my day at work, is playing with this thing. Basically. I mean, like I said, I work home care. My patient takes priority, obviously, but it's a pretty chill job, all things considered. People get really sad when I talk about my job, especially my sister. I can't talk about my job with my sister because it involves a patient who is on a trach and ventilator, and he is quadriplegic, so he can't move anything, and he can't talk. And he's been that way basically since forever. Like, he doesn't remember any other kind of life. So, like, and he's in his 20s now. So, like, I don't know. Like, I see it as his norm. Like, it's not sad to me. That's just how his life is. Like, it's fine. You know, like, if I could grant him the ability to do everything that I do, then I would, obviously. But I don't know. Like, I don't see it as sad. It's just, you know, he exists. And he's enjoying his life in his own way, and I'm just there to facilitate that. Sorry, I've been ignoring chat. Besides the cat thing. Oh yeah, and the P.O. Box thing. Okay, I haven't been ignoring chat. I really hope the amendment undoing the Hyde Amendment gets called the Jekyll Amendment. What's the Hyde Amendment again? I'm a political streamer, by the way. Introduced by anti-choice congressman. I like how they say anti-choice, although it is the ACLU. Barred the use of federal Medicaid funds for abortion except when the life of the woman would be endangered by carrying the pregnancy to term. Well, and see, this right here, that doesn't work when you're a conservative. And we've talked about that, right? Like, it's the chilling effect. Even if there are exceptions, doctors still won't want to give those abortions because they don't want to put their livelihoods at risk, their licenses. Transitory, my day is very well, thank you. I'm actually having a really good day. Besides the fact that I started stream too late, I forgot that I have D&D tonight, so unfortunately I do have to end around 5. I might be able to get away with 5:15 or 5:20, but I do have to get off in about 2 hours. But other than that, I'm doing very good, and the reason is because the video that I just uploaded is doing heckin' numbers. It's doing heckin' real big boy numbers. It's already 1.8K, and that's just publicly. Like, if I go here, I can't show you. I don't know if I'm allowed to show you my income, so I'm not going to. But I think I can show you my analytics on it. Holy shit! Yeah, it's already up to 3.2K. God damn. God damn. First time's catching the stream. Good to have you here, Hot Nut Pancho. I think I've seen your comments. Top tier thumbnail. Thank you. It's very simple. But I found that picture of Matt Walsh, and I was like, well, I gotta use it, right? I gotta use it. I got a few things I want to show you before we get into the segments, actually. I've been a little busy bee. Well, I have one thing that I made to show you, and then I have something that my brother made that is probably more impressive to show you. You're going big time? Don't go pop on us? I'll try not to. I'll try not to let it get to my incredibly already large ego. Great vid. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you guys liked it. It's funny because whenever I used to get views like this, that might be my most viewed video in a while, the one I just uploaded. But what's funny is, like, after all the numbers really. After all the numbers are in, it'll probably be my most viewed video. But, here, hold on. So this one, yeah, this one. So this was my first big video, 2.7K views from over a year ago. The All Right Clown Show. Great thumbnail here as well. I think I did a really good job, all things considered, on the thumbnail. But this was my previous most viewed, and there were so many dislikes. Oh, never mind. I thought there were more dislikes than this. There are a lot of comments, though. That people did. I thought there were a lot. Okay, well, maybe not. Oh, maybe it was a short that I'm thinking of. There was a short that I made of this. Maybe that's what it is. But there are definitely videos I have where right-winger, especially right after my Jubilee thing, where right-wingers came in and they just, like, shit on me so fucking hard. So it's nice to have, like, my point is that it's nice to have, like, the majority of views be people who actually like me. So. Coffee not kicked in? It's not the, well, first of all, I had my Adderall, I had an energy drink, but I just am still tired. I've been tired all day. What's your favorite Pokemon? Cyndaquil is the first one that comes to mind. I have this that I just got at the last convention I was at. But I don't know if I, like, if I had to say in 5 seconds, I'd probably say Cyndaquil. But if you gave me more time to think about it, I like Cinderace a lot. Especially because, like, the Gengar's the best? I disagree. I think Gengar is a good Pokemon on its own, but it's a downgrade from Haunter. Okay, so let me explain what I mean. So you have Ghastly on the left, which is like little ball, little cute, spooky ball, right? Thank you for the subscriptions, by the way, Wooly Viking and whoever else that was. Thank you, Leon. I'm gonna have to turn that off in a minute. But Ghastly is like this cute little boy, right? Congrats on the ratio, thank you. Best Pokemon's Walrein? Nah. Steel's great, but Walrein's fine. Like, I'm not gonna shit on people for their favorite Pokemon unless it's Vaporeon. But like, this is a perfect, so from Ghastly to Haunter is perfect. Like, you got the cute little ball, right? And then Haunter is still cute, but like, he's more menacing, right? He's got the spikes, like the gas thing kind of dissipated into the spikes, and he's got his little hands now, you know? And the hands are really, like, the disembodied hands are really what do it for me on Haunter. But with Gengar, they completely just radically altered the design. And so it's like not, it doesn't seem to be following the same kind of path, you know what I mean? So, we have D&D today, right? Okay, that's, yeah, that's why my stream's gonna be short. I forgot we had D&D tonight. But it's fine. We'll get it all done. I really should, like, on Tuesday streams, I really should just keep it to 2 hours anyway, because one of the things that's keeping me from doing Tuesday streams a lot is simply the fact that, like, when I think stream, I think 4 hours of my time. But 2 hours is fine, too. So, yeah. For D&D. Yes. That helps me, too. Make sure you let them know, though. Aggron's my favorite. That's fine. I mean, Aggron is a disappointment to me. It's a Pokemon. We're just talking about it since it came up. Yeah, Aggron's a disappointment to me. Like, it's fine. Aesthetically, I just think it's very bland. Like, it has the same kind of look that Tyranitar and Rhydon. It looks like upgraded Rhydon, but like not in a better way, just a different way. Which is fine if you like that, but it's just not that unique to me. Aron and Lairon, Aron I love. I love Aron. He's very cute. Aron's perfect. Alright, this is a perfect first Pokemon in a 3 Pokemon evolutionary lineup. This is perfect. It's cute, but it's like got a nice sleek design, you know? It's good. Lairon is fine. I actually, you know what? I think Lairon is better than Aggron. I think this one's better. It should have stopped here, to be honest. But even this, I think, is a little bit bland. But anyway. Milo spotted? Yeah, Milo probably. Excuse me. Milo probably snuck along in the back. I'm going to be sneezing a lot, by the way. My allergies are really acting up lately. So if I sneeze a lot, don't worry about it. I did take Claritin, so hopefully not, but we'll see. We got to get into the segments, or else we're not going to have time. Even though I only have, like, 2 planned. But still. I gotta stop, like, replying to all these people on Twitter. Oh, before my segment, I gotta ask Katie one thing real quick. guys will get a kick out of this. I was actually asking her just to clarify, like, whether or not she's a demigirl, like if she considers herself that. And she had to be, and she was like, what does that mean again? Which should tell you how little this comes up between us. Like, it just does not come up. You know, like, I just don't care that much. Neither does she. Like, she just does her thing, and she has her pronoun preferences, and that's it. You know, same here. Like, you know, I don't, in theory, care to go for any all pronouns. I don't really care how you refer to me. But because I'm so masculine, and because I present masculine, and I like presenting masculine, like, the pronoun thing just kind of falls into place naturally. He, him. So that's why I just stick with that. I was never allowed to watch Pokemon as a child, sorry. My parents were like that at first, but they chilled out. Gengar's just a little guy? No, I like Gengar. I like Gengar's design. But the problem is it needs to be separate from this lineup. It just does not track. I go by any all pronouns because while I look cis presenting a lot of the time, sometimes I go for a more non-binary look. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at notifications. She can't even play your little game, your little gay properly. If this person is non-binary, why are you referring to them as she? What's so funny to me is these fucking dipshits only ever care about pronouns when it comes to non-binary people, like gendering people correctly. That's the only time they care about it. And I am gendering her correctly. Like, we've discussed this once. I literally asked her once, I was like, so do you prefer... I even asked her once, do you prefer that I call you my girlfriend, or do you prefer I call you my partner? She was like, I don't care. Just, like, don't refer to me as your boyfriend, and don't use he, him, and it's fine. And that's it. So, basically just male-exclusive non-binary. All other genders are fine. But we'll talk about it. I really don't have, like, a big, long segment planned. I just want to talk about how I ratioed her, basically. This is a banger thumbnail, isn't it? What's funny is, I actually changed it from this. Here, I'll show you the real one now. See if you can tell the difference. Oh, that's the wrong one. That is also the wrong one. There it is. Here, I'll put them side by side. See if you can see the difference. Anybody see it? All that's missing is a baby diaper on the L. Shut up, that's disgusting. Who sees it? Spot the difference. I guess it's not that hard, but... Yeah, hand flip. So, literally, I made this first one, and I was like, that looks great. And then I was like, shit, the hand's on the wrong side. So I Google image searched another hand. Because it bothered me that much. It does not matter one bit, but it bothered me personally. So yeah, that's the only difference. Alright, I guess we should start. I like the idea of Matt Walsh having one backwards hand. That would have been 2 right hands. That's how far right he is. He has 2 right hands. I should have kept the fucking thumbnail and just explained it that way. pull up this damn post. We'll go over it. Also, I gotta pull up. I always forget to have, like, streaming to YouTube's, like, different. It's not that different, but it's different enough. Just the whole format is kind of weird. A little bit wacky. A bit silly. Do you ever get into conjoined twin discussion with regards to abortion? Feels like a lot of arguments they make for abortion fall apart in those cases. What do you mean? So, like, if you have... You'll have to explain exactly what you mean. Because typically, no. That's my name, don't screw it up. Wanting to remove a technically viable conjoined twin. Okay, so if you have two conjoined twins who rely on each other to stay alive, right? They rely on it, like, if you have two conjoined twins who cannot live without each other, it would be really stupid to try to separate them, right? But then this is like a really difficult philosophical question that does not, in my experience at least, come up very much. It would be a very difficult legal case, to say the least. If you had two conjoined twins, and separating them would, like, 100% kill one of them, and, like, probably save the other. That's a rough one, man. That's a rough one. I mean, bodily autonomy, right? Like, if you want something off of your body... But you could also argue that that's just the way you've been living, so that is a very, very tricky situation. But not the one that is, you know, in its own right, that is a difficult situation to contend with. But, like, it doesn't have anything to do with the abortion argument and bodily autonomy. It's not like the mom relies on the fetus to stay alive. The fetus entirely relies on the mom. And it just simply is not alive yet. It doesn't have knowledge or experience or feelings or anything. And even if it did, it's still attaching itself to the mom, who prior to that had her own individual body. So that's her right to say, no, get this off of me, or out of me, or whatever. What's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle instrument called? I have no idea. No clue. Asking the wrong guy. In the you can only save one surgical context. Granted, it's not nearly as common now as it was at the turn of the century. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. It's really not relevant. Because a fetus is not a conjoined twin. It's a parasite. And the only time... Like, I've argued with people about this. I'm like, it acts like a parasite in every single capacity. And then the only argument they ever have is, well, it's the same species as humans. Okay, well, if that's your only argument, that's a, what is it called? It's a good thing I'm not recording yet. I'm still practicing, basically. I can't think of the word. It's basically cheating, is my point. A logical fallacy? No. I don't. My brain is fried right now, as it tends to be. I've just been really tired today. I haven't really wanted to do anything. I was gonna work out, and then I realized that I have D&D tonight, and I was like, well, I gotta stream, so. Which I didn't want to work out anyway, so. The difference between parasitism and symbiosis is consent. Not necessarily. I mean, you can have a symbiotic relationship that somebody does not consent to. Like, for instance, if you're 18 years old, right? And you are still living off of your parents, but you don't want to anymore, like you want to be independent, and you leave, and you want to leave, but like your parents are like, no, you're not allowed to leave, you have to stay here. that's no longer even if they're still helping you, that's no longer a symbiotic relationship. It's another great example that I just thought of is if you're in an emergency situation and somebody's like on the ground dying, but they're still conscious, and they tell you, I don't want your help, don't give me your help. They can, and you tried to help them, they can sue you if they live. They can sue you for helping them. Because they did not consent to be helped. And you can say what you want about that, but if you go up to somebody, you say, are you okay? They answer you yes, and you say, do you want help? And then they say no, and you proceed to help them against their will, you can actually get charged for that. I know that's shitty, but that's just how it is. And frankly, I think that that's fine. Because if somebody, you know, is saying, like, if they're bleeding out and they say, I don't want help, I don't want help.
I'm here to steal content.
And then you tried to help and something happens to them. Bloody Blades 202, thank you for subscribing. Then you're liable for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's very complicated, but yeah. That happened in a drowning case. If a person wants a kid, they gain fulfillment in whatever feelings. That's the mutual exchange. Right, I'm not saying that a mom doesn't get anything out of having a child, but thinking about it as a symbiotic relationship is, you'd really be stretching, because that only symbiosis, parasitosis, and mutualism. Sorry, parasitism, not parasitosis. Symbiosis, parasitism, and mutualism are very literal terms to use. So basically, like, symbiosis would be birds eat the bugs off of alligators' backs. Birds get food, alligator gets cleaned. That's a very common one. But mutualism would be like the fish that hang out underneath of a shark. I can't remember their names. But they hang out under sharks and are protected by the shark, and the shark doesn't even know they're there. So the shark doesn't get anything out of it. So that's mutualism. And then parasitism is, I am literally feeding off of you somehow, and you are taking, like, remoras. Like, I'm taking nutrients from you, or I'm otherwise, like, impacting you negatively in order to benefit myself. You know? In a physical, literal sense. Aren't tumors literally genetically you? Well, they have a genetic, there's a lot of, we don't know quite yet, but basically, yes. It's basically just a mutated version of your own cells. And the mutation is very small. It's so slight that we can't detect it reliably. And that's why, like, tumors and cancer are so hard to cure, because they're so similar to your own cells that we do not have the technology to detect the differences very well yet. And that's what chemo does, basically, is cancer cells are typically a lot smaller than your genetics, like your natural cells, so to speak. So that's why they kill hair follicles as well. Because they kill small cells, and hair follicle cells happen to be small. So that's why you lose hair during chemo. But that's a very unreliable way to do it. So yes, you're correct. Anyway, we got to get into the segments. So let's stop stalling. Okay. We'll keep this one short, and then the next one will probably be longer. And then I'm going to try to get one more in, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I only have 2 planned. Here we go. Just real quick before we start, Libs of TikTok was banned and then unbanned from Twitter, right? Like, she was banned by Twitter, and then Elon brought her back. Is that correct? I don't want to be wrong on that in the video. Yeah? Okay, thank you. She was never banned? I know that she was banned on Instagram. And TikTok, apparently. She wasn't unbanned by Elon? She was never banned? It has a specific do not ban or censor. Oh, you're right. You're right. It did have that. You're right. That's crazy. Okay, I think we're good. Oh yeah, I gotta do this. Okay. So if you're involved in or follow politics to any kind of extent online, or especially on Twitter, you are probably aware of, you are probably at least aware of a person known as Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok is a woman known as, aka Chaya Raichik is her, like, I can't talk right now, I'm sorry. Chaya Raichik is her given name. She goes by Libs of TikTok on Twitter. She did go by Libs of TikTok on TikTok until she was banned from TikTok in March of 2022 for harassment. And I believe it was harassment. And then on Instagram, she was recently banned as well. However, Twitter refuses to ban her. And we'll see why she was banned in just a second, like what she does to warrant a ban. But Twitter actually has a do not ban label on her account, which is nuts. Completely nuts. And now that Elon Musk owns Twitter, she's definitely not ever going to get banned, ever. And, you know, Twitter is falling apart at the seams with, you know, advertisers fleeing as a result of their ads literally being posted within and next to Nazi posts. They don't like that associated with their image. So let's take a look real quick just to get an idea of what Libs of TikTok's all about, just in case you don't know.
Don't you hate it?
This is one of their videos that they posted. Ladies, does this ever happen to you? It's tough to be a woman.
Don't you hate it when your balls are sticking out of your panties just a little bit? And it doesn't hurt that bad right now, but you know if you just keep going the way it is, it's going to start chafing and just hurting worse. Why did God do this to women?
True. So yeah, you know, just basically just posting this, right? Nothing wrong with that, except let's go to the comments and see what's going on here. It's not that complicated. Dr. Seuss, if you were born with a dick, you were not a chick. That's pretty good. That's good enough for my grandma's Facebook wall, to be honest. Mental illness in the trans flag. You're a man as a pregnancy test. So yeah, as you can see, a very loving and welcoming crowd. I've seen this video several times. I forget what it is.
My question to you is, what specifically about medically transitioning do you think is so immoral?
If you are struggling to accept who you were born as, what your actual biological identity is, I have all the compassion in the world for that. I mean, I can't imagine having that disconnect in my head. It has to be a source of immense despair. But what I hate is the medical professionals who, instead of helping you with that and instead of helping.
What is this? Do they think Matt Walsh is hot? Like, I'm sorry, he's not. Like, look at this hairline, man. I know I have no room to talk, but it literally looks like his hair is trying to escape his head. Which, I mean, yeah, I can see that. I can see why why his hair would want to not be there.
You to accept who you really are and find joy and fulfillment in it. They're trying to make a quick buck, and they're selling you false promises, and they're telling you that this stuff is based on long-term studies, and they're
Grip that podium. Look at how hard he grips the podium, man. It's such a weak move.
Lying to you because it's
learn
not.
Body language.
There have never been any reliable long-term studies on almost all of this stuff, because the fact is the medical industry only started doing this at such a large scale recently, so they couldn't have the data. They're pretending that they do. They're lying, and that's what I hate. That's the immorality.
That's not true, by the way. Like, he's just talking out of his ass right here to try to sound empathetic, and he's not empathetic at all. He's called trans people some horrible shit before. He does not give one shit about trans people at all. To each their own. There are people that marry prisoners. Huh? These people think Trump is hot. That is true. But at least Trump's charismatic, though. Like, I can see how he could rizz up like some old ladies who watch Fox News. You know what I mean? Like, he's got charisma. Matt Walsh simply does not. He is so boring. But anyway, this segment is not about Matt Walsh. So you got the point. She posts things like this, and then people comment their ridicule. It's very gross. And she knows what she's doing. She says, well, I just post what they post on TikTok. But if I have an account called, let's say I have an account called people who like the color blue, right? And it's all about people who hate, like it's all catered toward people who hate the color blue. Like I call the color blue or liking it a defect, like a birth defect, a mental illness that you should not be allowed to do or to preach to others, is liking the color blue. And my account is called people who like the color blue, and that's my messaging. And then all I do with my account is post about people who talk about how much they love the color blue, or people wearing blue shirts, or, just anything like that, right? That's what I post, and I don't put any comments on it, right? I just put that out there. Well, now what I'm doing is I've cultivated an audience of a bunch of people who hate the color blue and people who like the color blue, right? They hate those people. And now I am showcasing a bunch of people who hate the color, a bunch of people who like the color blue in front of all these people who hate it. So what do you think is going to happen to those people and their accounts and their media? They're going to be swarmed if I have cultivated a large enough audience like Libs of TikTok has, right? And all these people are transphobes, as you can see. None of them particularly like trans people. Okay, so she knows exactly what she's doing, and she denies it every step of the way. Anyway, the reason we're talking about Shia today is because I recently ratioed her, which is pretty cool, if I do say so myself. If I can find it here. Here we go. Okay, so Shia posted this about 2 days ago, no, a little over a day ago. Your daily reminder that non-binary isn't real. And it is real. I mean, I decided that I was going to tell Shia in my own way that it is real and prove it to her by showing her my non-binary partner, my fiance, if you will. Pictured left, me and my non-binary fiance. Pictured right, Shia Rychik, who is, in fact, still single. Very interesting. I think that something went down with somebody that she was going to marry. I don't know if they left the altar on her or what, but yeah, just kind of an L, I just wanted to show everybody that indeed non-binaries do exist. They are real, and here's one right here, and she's beautiful. And people apparently really liked it because I got 41K likes, whereas she only got 14K on this one. So a little, almost 3 times as many likes. Plenty of comments on both sides. I'd rather be single than marrying a non-binary. Yeah, okay. I just pointed out factual information, okay? Like, people are getting so upset at me, and all I did was point out facts. I don't understand the problem. I don't get it. Like, have I said anything that's incorrect here? I don't see it. Relationship monged, yeah. Be careful browsing Twitter on stream. You never know what could come up. I appreciate your input, and I'm aware, and I still do not take proper precautions. You are correct. I should be more careful. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I just thought it was cool. I just wanted to show everybody that, you can indeed be non-binary and, not just be a very beautiful person, which is not important, aesthetically, how beautiful you are. But you can also be a beautiful person inside and find true love, find somebody who loves you for who you are, and even get married to them and perhaps have kids with them, like me and Katie mean to do. So, I don't like it when people like Shia Rychik try to say that non-binary people don't exist because, that's my partner you're talking about, man. It's not cool. I can tell you for a fact she exists. I've spent many a night with her. The only thing that doesn't seem to exist is your partner, right? So maybe think about that for a minute. Anyway, non-binaries are valid. Any gender identity that you have taken on and you feel is correct for you is valid. I'm a gender abolitionist, so I just think that gender is pointless. But in the meantime, it's not going to be abolished tomorrow. So in the meantime, just whatever gender works for you in this moment of genderness in our society is fine. I don't see a problem with it. There were a lot of comments trying to tell me that, like, she's not actually non-binary, she's mentally ill, she's conceited, narcissistic, whatever. Katie doesn't even really talk about her gender identity, like, at all. Like, it barely comes up. And when it does, like, one time she said that she wants to be called handsome, and that's, like, Okay, sure. I'll call you handsome sometimes, and I do. Sometimes she dresses a little bit more masculine than some other days. You know, and that's about the extent of it. And that's what she considers a non-binary gender identity. I literally had to go and ask her just now, like, do you consider yourself a demigirl? And she was like, I don't know, like, I maybe. And she was just like, I just prefer the term non-binary. So she just doesn't want to fall into any kind of gendered category, and I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And all these people trying to convince me that, like, I'm feeding her mental illness or that, like, I'm going to be miserable. Like, I mean, anybody who's been here long enough has seen Katie. You know, she's a very sweet person. And I very much love living with her. And I am going to love living the rest of my life with her. Yeah, I mean, and she'll continue to be non-binary, perhaps in perpetuity. Maybe one day she'll change her mind, but until then, she's non-binary, and that's fine. So if you're non-binary out there, you're valid. You can find love. You're beautiful in your own ways, etc. And Chaya Rychik is just, she seems a little jealous to me. But don't worry, Chaya. You'll find that special somebody someday. Maybe cool it with the transphobia and open up your mind a little bit. And then maybe it'll work for you. Who knows? And yeah, I do think you're correct. I think that I'm happier currently than Chaya Rychik will ever be. I'm very happy and satisfied with my life right now. And so is Katie. In her defense, she is in fact handsome. Yes, Katie is very handsome. Why do these people care so much? Because they just can, I guess. NB prefixes. Will Katie refer to themselves as Mrs. Gunter? Well, Gunter's not my last name, but if it were, yes, like it would be Mrs. basically. She's basically demigirl. Partially yeah, so somebody who partially identifies as a woman or girl. So that would be her. Like, she doesn't mind being called a woman or a girl, but she mostly just goes by the label non-binary. It's a catch-all. Excuse me. That's Pog. It is Pog. People, what's funny to me is that, like, people will talk about transgender and non-binary people as if they don't know, like, those people don't know what their own gender identity is. And I guarantee you that trans and non-binary people have thought about their gender more than anybody else on the planet. Because they're always questioned on it. They're always, like, and therefore they question themselves. And they always, like, are trying to figure out, like, is this really me? Or am I just faking it? Or, you know, what do I want to present as? And what do I call that? Like, they've thought about this a lot. And the more you think about it, the more solid of a conclusion you can come to. Yes, exactly. They're not the ones confused. Thank you so much for the $5.
100% know those who have shamed NBs for wearing G-masculine clothing have worn clothing of a significant other that wore mask.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. Thank you so much, Balthazar, for $5. I appreciate you. I don't think I have any more Gunter Gusto posts. I don't. Okay, good. That is my $5 YouTube channel program. For those who didn't know. All right. I've got one more video, and then I've got a couple of others that we could react to. No, well, actually, really just one other. But we'll do this other one real quick. Imposter syndrome is a bitch. Yeah, I had that really bad as a nurse. Especially when I first started out. It was really bad. Dude, my first 6 months as a nurse were absolute hell. What class are you and Katie playing in your D&D game? I'm a Goliath Barbarian, and she is a... cleric slash fighter? I think fighter's a class. I'm not that adept at D&D. And she, what is her race? I don't even remember her race. I'm not keeping up very well with the current game. It's like, honestly, I've considered not playing anymore. It's something about the current campaign that's just not that interesting to me. Your music choices are so fire. Well, I had to change the fucking playlist because the last one I had Live and Learn from Sonic Adventure 2, and that caught the copyright strike somehow. So that was cool. I just use video game music. It's not anything special. I can attest as a trans person, I've thought a ton about it. I always hate when people think I don't know how I was born or haven't deeply contemplated it for years. It's like, yeah, like, you know, trans people are not under any illusions as to, like, what their genetics are and what they're packing. You know, like, they know what they're packing. Oh shit, this playlist also has Live and Learn. Cool. Why the fuck did Live and Learn get caught by the copyright strike? That's so stupid. It's a video game song. It's like a big video game song that any playlist I play is gonna have it. Where do you work? I work at the Cleveland VA. Well, I'd rather not give away details about my company and all that. I work home care. Okay, well, I guess I'll skip forward to this song for after the segment. Curse of Strahd campaign. I think that my... Wait, Curse of Strahd is what those voice actors did on Critical Role, right? That's Curse of Strahd. Or Strad or whatever. That's why I like homebrewing. I've thought about homebrewing a One Piece campaign. I think that'd be fun. But like, I've never DM'd before. And I'm also not that adept at D&D. I don't have that much experience, so it would be a project. It'd be a huge project, and I simply am focused on other things right now. Like doing segments, which we should do. So let's do it. Actually, I gotta pee real quick before we start. Sorry. I feel like I do that a lot. I fake you out, and then I gotta pee. Okay, I'm gonna pee real quick. I'll put the music on while I do that, and I'll be right back.
permanently ban Alec Gunther?
Okay, I'm back. And yes, it is Hades. Hello, guys. Okay. The cat tax. Sorry, I feel really tired today. I guess it's good that it's a short stream.
What? Just because I'm a meathead doesn't mean I'm not a feminist.
She got the zoomies. What are you doing? Uh-oh. What do you want? Well? Okay. In that case... Okay, let's get this going. All right, this was recommended to me by somebody in my Discord server. If you would like to recommend me videos as well, you can do so by joining my Discord server, the link to which is always in the YouTube description. You can find it below. This is a video called Attempting to Reason with an Unreasonable Jerk by a channel known as the, Abolitionists Rising. I looked into these people a little bit before I decided on this segment. They're actually a pretty sizable channel, 186K subscribers, and the person who suggested them to me said that they just randomly showed up on their feed one day. So if my audience is randomly getting these people in their feed, then clearly these people are getting around. And I'd like to see what they're all about. So basically, Abolitionist Rising is all about abolishing abortion. They're very against abortion. They have their own website, abolitionistrising.com. Abortion is still legal in every state of the nation. That's kind of a lie, because if you look at Tennessee, which is, I know where that is. It's right here. If you look at Tennessee, it says legal for mothers, illegal for abortionists. Like, I don't understand what that means. Does that mean that it's legal for, like, the mom to, like, stick a coat hanger? I don't know. But basically in Tennessee, there's a 6-week abortion ban, if I recall correctly. And most people who need abortions don't find out, the vast majority don't find out that they're pregnant until after 6 weeks. And on top of that, even if they were to find out before the 6-week mark, it's not like you can just walk up into a Planned Parenthood the same day, get an abortion. You can't do that because there are a lot of loopholes that you have to go through in order to even get to the stage where an abortion is allowed. You have to like look at ultrasounds of your own fucking fetus. Like they torture you basically before you're allowed to get an abortion. It's disgusting. So that's kind of a lie. You know, it's not legal in Tennessee. It's legal up to 6 weeks in Tennessee, which basically makes it completely illegal. So anyway, that's Abolitionist Rising. I actually did send them a message to see if I can get a representative from them onto the show. After we're done with this segment, I'll go ahead and check and see if they replied. But let's go ahead and start watching this video. And just, you know, like I said, I like to hear people out. So let's see what's going on here. Attempting to reason with an unreasonable jerk. Well, at OSU, this belligerent man was steamrolling the conversation.
This is murder. Y'all are full of shit.
It's the intentional, premeditated taking the life of an innocent being.
Taking the life of nobody.
Wait, what do you wear scrubs for? What are the scrubs for?
You ask questions about me, asshole. Shut the hell up.
Yeah, you
tell me about this bullshit. You're gonna kill some person. Well,
that's what abortion does.
Absolutely.
I was asking if you're a scrub because I want to know if you were medically trained.
I'm gonna turn it up a little bit real quick.
Away from me, asshole.
You implied
Hey man,
to me that
don't be a
you're
jerk.
in some kind of medical field.
No, you
With
tell me
scrubs, you said,
something.
look at
How is it murder? Tell
Like,
me
if you got a girl pregnant and you encourage her to get an abortion, you encourage her to
Why are they standing out here without like a hat and gloves? Like, that's not healthy, man.
end the life of your child.
You ain't letting no life and no child. That is
True.
nonsense.
Where do
You
humans
tell
come
me
from?
right
Where do
now,
humans come from?
What in the hell you're killing when you remove an abortion?
Humans come from fetuses, which are birthed, and fetuses come from egg and sperm. If you take it back far enough, we all came from some microscopic bacteria way, way back millions and millions of years ago. But I wouldn't consider that bacteria to be a human.
A preborn human being.
Cells. Couple of you're removing no preborn human being.
Yeah, you are.
You know what those
Yeah.
cells are? Go
I
ahead
love this
and
guy.
tell me.
They're a preborn human being in some stage of development.
It's not a blastocyst because you don't remove it at that. What the? I said blastocyst.
Yeah,
You don't
blastocyst.
remove anything in a blastocyst stage. What's the
Right.
common thing that happens at blastocyst
So-
stage?
For those who don't know, blastocyst is a stage during development of an embryo. It's one of the embryonic stages. I forget what all the stages are, but that's what that term means.
Hey, just chill out a little bit. You're against it or you're for it.
Blastocyst stage?
No, that's fetus.
I will say, I know that he's not like going for optics here, and they probably just like, he probably just walked up to them all pissed off, but he did give them content, so let's talk about it. I think that a crucial mistake he's making here is that he is a little bit on the offensive too much right now. If he had already, and these guys are in charge of the editing, so I don't know how much of this conversation they're recording and how much they're cutting out. I don't know how dishonest they're being. But to give them the most credit possible, this guy is starting off the conversation very heated. One of the mistakes I made during the Jubilee video is I let myself get heated and then they'd cut it in such a way that it didn't really track why I was heated. But in general, it's just better to not get heated if you can help it, unless you're in control of the content and you can show people how you reach that point logically. You know what I mean? So just be careful when you're doing this that you try not to get to that point if you can help it.
Oh, it's a fetal stage. Oh, right. Okay, sorry about that.
Let's just do a fetal stage.
Week 6. What's happening in week 6?
Week 6. Yeah, it's still an embryo at week 6, but
Get it? It is an embryo.
it's embryo until week 9. So
Oh, these are the kind of people that try to catch you out on the fucking verbiage, the words. And it's like, well, you know, you guys use fetus interchangeably with baby. So like, what are you talking about? Like, he's going to try to catch him out on all these terms to make himself look smart. It's so stupid.
From 9 to the end.
Now, in week 6, what's happening in the body?
It's a human being that's growing and developing in their mother's womb. That's where you grew and developed. I'm positive, 100%.
So what's the most common thing to happen at 6 weeks? What's the most common thing to happen to a embryo at 6 weeks?
If they're aborted?
In humans, period. What's the most common thing? Go ahead and say it for me.
What? Metabolism?
Miscarriage. It's the most common
True.
thing. How many human pregnancies?
So
miscarriages?
hold on a second. You're
It's like
shifting
50%, I think.
What does it matter?
Yeah, it does. The intentional miscarriage isn't murder.
Yeah, my problem with this guy is not that he's wrong, the guy on the right. It's that he's being very smarmy. He comes off smarmy.
The intentional destruction of a preborn human being is murder with malice aforethought.
Whether or not that was gonna become a...
No, it is. It is a human.
How many...
If it's a human that died...
Another thing that he's trying to do here is make the claim that biologically speaking, a fetus is a human. And you can make that argument all you want, but it doesn't matter. I don't care whether or not you consider it a human because ultimately it's attached to the mother and the mother does not want it to be attached to her. It is literally feeding off of the mother and the mother doesn't want that. Okay, if a mom doesn't want to breastfeed, she doesn't have to do that either. She can use formula. So like, don't ever let them try to catch you out on that. You know, it's not a human in the sense that it doesn't get human rights. More, if you want to be more, like if you want your vocabulary to be clear and straightforward, say it's not a person. Because I feel like they try to catch you out on this gotcha of like, when you say something's a human, you could mean one of two things. You can mean biologically it's a human. Like if you look at like evolutionary stages, we are in the Homo sapien stage, right? Homo sapien, I believe. And like, that's correct. And you could technically classify the fetus as being of that species, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the personhood of the fetus and whether it deserves rights. And it does not. It simply doesn't. Practically speaking, you're just putting mothers' lives at risk if you consider it to have rights and their well-being. I mean, just look at the lady who was arrested because she had a miscarriage into a toilet bowl a few weeks back. You know, and for those who are wondering, by the way, I did try to get back in contact with that lawyer. She never replied, unfortunately. She's probably very busy, so it's fine. But anyway, like she was arrested for having a miscarriage into a toilet bowl and then not fishing it out. And the fact that we considered that fetus to be a corpse is the reason that she's currently in jail. And that's why I don't like it. Okay? That is a very traumatic situation, or it can be at least. It's not always. But like it was 22 weeks and she wanted the baby and it miscarried into the toilet. So that's traumatic. And she tried to flush it and they arrested her for allegedly abusing a corpse. And it's disgusting. It's not a corpse. It's fetal tissue.
If it's a human
innocent
who died
people
in
are being put at risk for this.
How many
pregnancies? Hey, why are you so?
Relevant.
Why is this so emotional for you? Can you just just slant it back?
Don't let
Just
them
have some
don't let them
exchange.
do that to you.
Just scale it back.
Human murder, and I shouldn't get emotional.
It is.
You're full of shit. You're
It
a
is.
fucking liar.
No, I'm saying.
That being said, keep in mind once again,
you
thank
are
you
my
for
little
subscribing,
pod champ.
Matthew. Keep in mind once again, he's on a
Let
college
it feel
campus. He's
love.
not looking for a good faith debate. Thank you for all the subscriptions. I'm going to let it roll. Okay, never mind. It's over. He's not looking for a good faith engagement. He's looking for gotchas and content. So I reached out to try to debate him, see if we can get him to talk to somebody who knows how to do this game that he's doing. But we'll see what happens.
In the conversation.
Get emotional about murder.
Right.
I'm wondering why you're not. You are lying.
Yeah. Because
see how you lied there.
True
What are you talking
XLR. No, they love their fetuses right up until they're born, and then they don't give a shit.
I'm saying you should calm down so that we can have a rational discussion.
Second, you're being rational discussion
Yes.
about murder. Are you
Yes.
I didn't even know he was being recorded. Is that in this state? Is that illegal? I don't know. I don't know the laws on that. I'm not going to question the legality of it. That's not what I'm here to do.
What's so bad?
No, listen.
What's wrong with you?
I'm saying if you slow down and you talk, you can formulate your reasons and you can put them forward in a manner where I can hear them and respond to them.
You don't give information.
Yes.
You told me this is murder and that I shouldn't calm down.
It's murder because it's the intentional destruction of a preborn human being.
You are.
Preborn
Wait, hang on a
human
second.
being.
It's not a human being.
See, that's the caveat for me is I don't consider anything that's pre-born to be a full-fledged human. It doesn't deserve rights yet. So it's not murder.
Yes, it is.
Preborn human being.
A preborn human being. Human beings develop.
Basically, what this boils down to and what it's always going to boil down to is the humanity of the fetus. And that really doesn't matter. You know, you can cede the point that the fetus is a human and still say, like, I don't believe it deserves personhood status because granting it that would basically be putting it at a tier above humans. You're saying that this entity is allowed to latch itself onto an unwilling individual and feed off of it for 9 months until it's born. That's something that no other human is allowed to do. We would be arrested. We would probably, I mean, like, if the only, like, my argument is if I attached wires to somebody to start feeding off of their body like a fetus would do, and the only way to get me off was for that person to kill me, that person would be completely within their right to kill me. It doesn't matter if it's for 9 months. It doesn't matter if it's for 9 minutes, okay? They're within their right to kill me. I attach myself to them, and that's their body. So that's their right to do that if the only way to get me off is to kill me. Seriously.
Develop in their mother's wombs, and we live
fetuses
for like
are not
8
above
to 9
humans.
months in a womb, and then we're born.
End up in a
It doesn't matter what I know. It is a human being being murdered. It doesn't matter. I can't predict everyone's world.
You know what?
It's not murder if it's self-defense.
Future.
It doesn't matter when they're going to have a natural death.
It does. It's just a human.
Are you sure it doesn't matter when someone dies? Because I shit you not. If it doesn't, then why don't you just kill every single person for having
That's not what
What?
she said.
You and me should be in jail.
That's not what she said. And sperm are not humans.
I don't know where he was going
What kind
with
of
that one.
medical degree are you getting if you think a sperm is a human being? You think there's like a little man inside there? It's crazy.
I gotta be.
No, that's the logic that you're using. Because if you trace it far enough back, the fertilized egg came from an unfertilized egg and a sperm cell. So you can make the argument that there are humans, and you would be correct that there are humans that don't currently exist, that could exist had I not jerked off this morning. That could have gone, I could have dumped that sperm into my future wife, and she could have given birth. But even then, millions of genetic coding from the sperm cells individually are lost. They're just lost. Like, that's just the consequence of how we reproduce. So technically, every time I ejaculate, you know, I'm killing, quote unquote, millions of potential humans because those sperm cells didn't get to fertilize an egg. And every time Katie has a period, she's killing a potential human, because that egg could not ever have the opportunity to be fertilized. Like, that's simply not a practical way to look at this.
To be honest with you, that's got to be the stupidest fucking thing I've heard all day, and I had to listen to somebody whinge on about their own personal bullshit for hours. Now we're down.
No, people used to believe in that.
See, you can't approach these people and then act indignant like this guy is. You can't do that. Because he approached. So he's not within his rhetorical right to do that right now. By any, like, normie's perspective. I understand why he's upset. It's very frustrating to argue with people like this, but you look really bad.
Yes, you're being filmed. That's why I was trying to get you to calm down.
Good. No.
I'm trying to get you to calm down so you actually make your arguments and we know what you're saying.
Argument here, sir. You are shockingly calm about what you consider to be murder, which is frightening.
Well, you're not murdering anyone right now. If you were murdering her, I would not be calm.
Y'all people believe in magic. You're religious, so you don't believe in facts.
No, you're the one that believes in magic. You think that people get rights after they leave the womb. That's magic.
Yes.
We don't believe in that.
Yes.
Oh, you don't believe in human rights?
No, we believe in human rights.
Stop. This is so painful, man. No, you can't try to gotcha them. You can't.
I don't believe in human rights.
Oh, me?
Because a human in the womb doesn't have rights, according to you. That's what you've been arguing this whole time. You believe in some kind of magic rights.
That's a crock of shit. You just made that up. Hang on a second. Play that fucking tape back and see how you just fucking lied about what you said. Y'all's is full of shit.
No.
You just said some stuff that never was discussed.
No. No, are you for or against abortion?
Man, I love abortion. I think it's the greatest thing ever.
Nice.
All right, so you love abortion, and you say that an abortion of a 6-week...
That's how you handle these morons. If you don't have a good rhetorical strategy, the best thing you can do is just say, yeah, abortion's awesome. I love it. And if they try to say, so you like murdering fetuses, just be like, yeah, it's cool. In fact, I have my own collection in the basement. Just really, like, exaggerate. Who cares? Make a fool of them.
9-week-old or any time in the womb is not...
That's always an option.
...ending the life of a human being. That's what you said. Mr.
Stroke put that because
ending the life of
you full well know that if you performed abortion super late, you would just straight up murder a human being, which would be the mother. But I find it weird that we're equating a...
No, you're just jumping all over the place. I'm trying to diagnose why you are jumping all over the place. I'm thinking this is not this.
Part of a alleged pro-life organization talked to somebody who's in favor of abortion, which actually does save lives.
This is not an intellectual reason for you?
Hang on a second. You ain't a doctor. You can't diagnose shit.
Listen, I'm trying to figure out...
Nice people alone. They ain't scum like y'all.
I'm trying to figure out why you are the way you are.
Okay, if this guy's literally going around and pestering people, then maybe this isn't the worst look. The problem is we don't have that context. Thank you for the subscription. We don't have that context of seeing him going and pestering people, right? And that's the problem. If we had that, then this behavior would be justified. And it sounds like it is.
Yes, I am, because I know it's not an intellectual thing for you, because you're all over the place. So it's an emotion. Is this something you've done? You've paid for an abortion? Because
Yes.
No, I've never been. I've never been to an abortion clinic. I'm not female. I don't know if you can tell.
No, you've never gotten anyone pregnant and encouraged an abortion?
No.
I have, and I had to have a very difficult internal conflict with that for a long time because I was pro-life. But I knew that a baby was not the correct move for us, you know? So I knew that, and more importantly, she knew that. So I helped her pay for an abortion. And, you know, that took a long time to get over and to move on with my life, but here we are. I barely even think about it anymore. It was 1000% the right move, and I have zero guilt over it, and I live guilt-free. Day in and day out, I sleep well at night knowing that I made the right choice. And that's what I want for everybody. And that's why I hate ghouls like this who try to guilt people, who stand outside fucking abortion clinics calling them demons and shit. It's like, just let people live their fucking lives, man. Not everybody wants to have a parasite growing inside of them until it comes out of them, you know, through their genitalia of all things, head and all, 9 months later. 9 months of that shit. Like, come on. Come on. Not everybody wants that. So shut up. Stop guilting them.
Because I'm trying to understand why it seems
Wait a second.
emotional
Why are
for you.
Talking about encouraging people to get abortions.
I'm not. You're
Why
not.
are you getting
No,
people pregnant
comprehend what I'm saying.
If they try to pull this emotional shit, you can be emotional. You just have to do it with the proper context. You can say, like, you know, there was somebody that donated $1,000 during our fundraiser, and they said that their sister died due to lack of access to abortion care. Now, I don't have any way to verify if that was true, but I also have no reason not to believe it. And people do die, this is documented, from lack of access to abortion care. You know, that happens. So that's a valid excuse to get emotional, but you need that.
Asking you
if you're
why
going to
you
get
seem
emotional.
so
I mean,
psychologically connected to this issue to where you want to argue for it.
I don't want people to die. That's why.
It's emotional. Yeah. Which can be psychological, certainly.
Right. Yeah.
This is real weird. Hang on a second.
Not weird, man.
Can I ask you a question? Because I don't know anything about
No, this is flight of thoughts, man. You're going all over the place. You got to chill. Just say, I don't want people to die. That's why I'm emotional. I don't want people to die.
holistic people. I think holistic people, neurotypical people.
Okay.
I think you're evil.
I'm evil?
Nope, bad. He has not done enough yet to indicate that he's evil. Once you establish that this man would be okay, not just okay, but would literally himself force a 13-year-old sexual assault victim to give birth to their their assaulter's child. Once you get him to admit that, then you can call him evil. Then you can say that's fucked up. That you're a fucked up person for believing that. Get it? You have to lead there. I didn't think that this would just turn into like a debate tactic thing, but here we are.
Why do you think I'm evil?
Saying shit that nobody's talking about because
why? Okay, let's talk only about it.
Like,
why do you think
This guy's good at? I mean, he's good at debating normies. I think that he would fall apart if he debated me, but we'll see.
I'm evil?
We'll see if he even reaches out.
No, come on.
So
come on, buddy.
Cult are you guys from? Can I see one of your flyers? Are you from one of the ones?
He's not wrong. This guy needs to give a reason that he's evil. This is really bad debate tactics.
Yes, your question.
Hey, do you just not like answering questions, or do you find them too hard? We're Christians. We're Bible believing Christians.
Thank you.
It's not. It's a lecture here at the university.
Look here. Hang on a second. It says cult right
I
there.
wish I'd have known about this. They were at Ohio State University on November 4th or something, and I wish I'd have known. I would have gone and confronted him.
You put it in.
Wow, that's a great argument.
What is that?
Fold the word culture. Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
that thing?
Go ahead, tear it up, buddy.
Hey, are you gonna say anything worth listening to?
I fucking care what you think. You're a piece of shit.
I know. I'm just wondering if you're gonna be serious, or if are you here to just waste your time?
Which cult is this? Are you one of the ones that extorts the people?
My face is right there.
No.
There's no extortion. It's a free public lecture.
Oh shoot!
At the Ohio State University Union Building.
Hang on, I can actually look up and see whether or not you guys have been kicked off campus before. You're changing your names.
That's another good tactic, actually. Just see if they're on the campus's ban list, and then tell on them. That's fine.
You know how hard it is to
We've
find
never
you guys
been here.
sometimes?
We've never been here.
Hang on a second.
And hopefully he'll never be there
So
again.
if you can't win an argument, you just kind of call the Gestapo to have us kick us. No, you want to
Call the Gestapo. Yeah, call the Gestapo, man. That's crazy.
Violent for
It's exactly
I'm not
like
being
that.
violent. You want to kick us off
Now that he
campus
mentions
or
it-
see if we've been kicked off campus because you
pay
can't
tax money
what?
And y'all's is religious.
Wait, you don't think that people with religious views?
I will say though, optically, that is kind of spineless. Like to defer to tattling on them, I will say that does come across as spineless. Like if you really just want them off of campus and you don't want people to be irritated by them anymore, and that's your only goal, then that's fine. Like you don't have to engage with these people. If you just start off by saying like, I'm calling campus security, like that's fine. But if you're going to engage with them, engage with them. You know, like don't be spineless.
Be on
This
campus?
guy? No, you're not. The one that's got the same name as T. Russell Hunter, the musician. Wait.
Okay, stop saying the word grape to describe sexual assault. I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad at the situation. I know that YouTube does not like that word. Say sexual assault or SA. SA works as well. I cannot stand. It just, in my brain, it pisses me off because it feels like people who use the word grape when they mean sexual assault are trivializing sexual assault. I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm not accusing you of that, but that is what it feels like, and that's how it comes off. So I just don't like that.
I'm T. Russell Hunter.
Are you
You're not in trouble. That's a pet peeve of mine.
You're him.
Hello, Gaius Winston.
No, T.
Welcome.
Russell Hunter is launching a new national organization called Abolitionists. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, it says
No,
you're
I
a
understand,
musician.
Kermit.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a musician.
You're this same guy. Jesus, you look different.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm wearing a hat.
What?
Must be the hat. I actually do know who you are.
Why?
Some crazy stuff.
How would you know who I am?
You're a bad person.
I'm a bad person.
But anyway, enjoy
Is he
your coffee.
confusing him with that one country singer who like went viral a while back for that one song, but then he came out as like some kind of communist? Cause like that's, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of racist, man. Like I look like that dude too, just a white guy with a beard. So, you know, maybe chill with that.
I don't need to listen to you speak.
I don't think.
Yeah, thank you, Daciolo. That's what I thought too.
If you ever get any views and an ability to argue for them, don't just be a jerk, all right?
Yeah, unfortunately, optically, this guy got the win on this.
Jeez Louise. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Huh?
What page did he pull up?
Some article about us. I don't
Yeah,
know.
this guy did get the win optically on this one. Well, optically, you do need to stay calm for most of it. The only reason you're allowed to get loud or belligerent is if you hold them to the fire, you hold their feet to the fire, and you get them to admit some shit that is not good. You know, like I would force 13-year-olds to have their sexual assaulter's baby. Like that's really bad. But if you can demonstrate that, yes, that is definitely what this person believes, no matter how they sugarcoat it. You know, I believe that they should have mental health care and they should be taken care of the whole process. No, you force 13-year-old sexual assault victims to give birth to their rapist babies. That's fucked up, and you're a fucked up person for believing that, and I don't like you. That's when you can get belligerent. I still advocate for keeping it under control. A healthy dose of controlled anger is not going to hurt you. But like I said, if you're going to get belligerent, do it properly, okay? Don't let them make a fool of you. And don't give them content. Especially don't give them the content. Notice that Matt Walsh never uploaded any shorts from me, right? Of our interaction. Never, like, tried to milk it. Never did anything with it. It's like it never happened, basically, to him. Because he doesn't want anything to do with it. Because he knows how bad it makes him look. He admitted that he will force 13-year-old sexual assault victims to give birth to their assaulter's baby. And that's really bad. And he knows that. So that's why he just never touched it again. Some Matt Walsh Sims did, but only like 2 of them. And the rest of them are smart enough to also know that this looks really bad for him. You know? So just remember that. Don't get belligerent unless you can get them to admit to it's just their actual beliefs, right? Their actual beliefs, which are abhorrent. And as long as you can air that properly, then you can get belligerent. like I said, I did message this guy on his website. He has not replied yet, but I'm hoping that he will. I tried to look up to see what other events they're doing since this was in Ohio, but I don't know that there's like a specific event list. I think that they just kind of show up wherever. If they actually advertise where they were going and what they were doing there, it would be very dangerous because people who know what they're talking about might show up, right? But hopefully, like I said, they will reply to my, what I thought was a very kind and open invitation to come onto the stream and, you know, just chat a little bit, just see what they're all about, right? So if you're watching this, guys, like the people from Abolitionists Rising, yeah, just feel free to hit me up, and you know, you got my email. We'll talk. Okay, that's 2. All right, I've got like maybe 45 more minutes, and I don't have any more segments planned. He's scared of you and Shark and the others. Yeah, I can see that. I don't particularly think Matt Walsh is scared of like the other people who were there though, because like I saw some of their questions and people just don't get the game. They don't know what kind of questions to ask. Now, I'm not saying that I'm some kind of guru or genius or anything, but like I do know what questions to ask, and I know how to handle these people to, I think, a better extent than most college kids do. You know, I get the game. College kids, I was one, right? They're too busy. They have their opinions, but they largely just hang around people who agree with them. And so they're never really challenged on it. And even if they're right, they have a very hard time communicating why they're right, you know? You can know that the square root of 144 is 12, but if you just memorize that fact and not understand how you got there, you're going to have a hard time convincing people that you know how square roots work. You know what I mean? Like, you only know it because you know it. You've just memorized that answer, but you don't understand the reasoning. And that's really how you have to come across, is that you know your positions and you understand the reasoning for your positions. The trick is to bring equipment to hook yourself up to them in case they don't want to engage with a hypothetical. Yeah, just sea lion them. You guys know what sea lioning is? Personally, I think the phrase is fucked up because it comes from this comic where this guy says, I don't mind most marine mammals, but sea lions? I could do without sea lions. Don't say that out loud, this person says. Pardon me, I couldn't help it over here. Now you've done it. And then the sea lion goes on to like pester this guy for evidence and stuff. But to be fair, I mean, this dude, like, if this is a sentient sea lion living in human society, I think that's a fair question, right? I think he's being very fair. So they did the sea lion kind of dirty, but that's the phrase for it. So yeah, just sea lion him. Oh shit, that's my email. Don't look at that. I don't think there was anything incriminating there. It's fine. Man, I don't know if I have enough energy for another segment, guys. I'm sorry. Just kind of tired. There's a funny vid we can watch. It's just bringing me to the YouTube front page. Would YouTube hate it if you nap on stream? I actually don't know. Okay, what's this? Okay, we'll do... Yeah, I actually saw the first one of these. This won't be a segment, but we'll just watch this for funsies. Or, what? You know what? We'll watch the first minute of it for funsies. I want to do the Xander Hall thing, where he, like, watches, like, a little bit of it, but then he, like, tells people to go watch it themselves. We'll do that.
Just believe me, it's a serious debate. Welcome to the Republican debate. I'm Lester Holster of NB Nightly News.
Good evening, I'm the press.
We are now just 60... host of the Hugh Hill Show. We are now just 69 days from the end of the world. Ups will be at the discretion of all of us at the table.
Nice.
With that said, let's bring down the country. Candidates will have 1 second for answers and the opportunity for a candidate from fellow debaters.
Let's go.
Please, 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 please. We want to caution all the candidates not to speak. If you talk, we can't hear you. All right, our first question, the opening question is, what is the first question? Governor DeSantis, let me begin with you on this one. Speak to Republican voters who are supporting...
Mommy, I just want to get back to Florida. Mommy, I don't want to hear any more Republicans, because ultimately they don't care.
Let's not go
Just
down
a little
this
guy,
road.
just trying to get back to
Mommy
back
left
home.
me stranded. Mommy.
As a mom, I know what that means.
I'm going to take the future of this country.
Okay, there's about a minute. If you want to see the rest of it, I linked it in the chat. As you can see, I'm not reacting very strongly, so I would feel bad if I just sat here and watched it. But yeah, who's live right now? I'll just find somebody and link their channel. Keffels is live. They're doing a charity stream. How do you raid again? I don't know if I even can raid Keffels.
Hey guys, so once you didn't put a scroll down and you can do it here again.
Okay, hold on. See if I can do this.
Edit, go to customization, scroll down, and you can do it.
Okay, let's see. Go to settings.
Created the redirect. So again, go to custom time. You just go to edit, go to...
Oh. Here we go. Sweet. Okay, so now when I end stream, it should automatically redirect you. Hopefully. If not, I'll also link it, just in case. But yeah, go give money if you can. Sorry for the short stream today, and sorry I won't be streaming this weekend. I will be at GalaxyCon in Columbus. If you're going to be at GalaxyCon or know anybody who is, tell them to say hi. I'll be wearing the Eggman costume, like the realistic one with the scarf. Not there'll probably be another Eggman there, at least one that I know of. So, but if you're going to be there, feel free to stop and say hi to Eggman. Probably on Saturdays when I'll be doing the cosplay. And otherwise, I will see you all. I'm going to try to start the Tuesday streams regularly. I just get really bad about it. But yeah, if not, I will see you guys next weekend. Wasn't Eggman supposed to be the hero? I don't know, actually. Anyway, sorry I'm so tired. We at least got a few segments, so that's good. And I'll see you guys next weekend. Have a great week, guys. Love you all.